Hey, this is Kaufman is Alive YouTube channel. I look at comic books new and old. I've been looking at a lot of new comic books that came out recently, a lot of Deadpool and Wolverine and X-Men. So I want to get back to some old comics today. I'm looking at Daredevil number 179. Came out in February of 1982 by Marvel Comics. Really great creative team on this book. Got Frank Miller on the cover, Frank Miller on the interiors with Klaus Janson and Denny O'Neil. Love this drawing of Elektra. She's got her sigh going through Daredevil's mask. And her face, she doesn't exactly look happy. She's just got kind of this stoic stare and like, finally I've got you kind of a stare, but she doesn't exactly look happy with herself. And one thing that's always kind of annoyed me about the mask is that it's not like hanging down like it's cloth. It's almost hanging like it's still got a head in it, even though obviously there's no head, but kind of symbolic though. Still really love this cover. Obviously it's a really classic one. Getting into the issue here, it's called Spiked. We got Ben Ulrich, who's investigating the Kingpin. Of course, he's the lead reporter over at the Daily Bugle. He's going into this movie theater. They say no smoking. He's like, in this dive? Okay. That's kind of a running theme throughout this comic is his smoking habits. So he meets up with his informant who says if the Kingpin knew he was here, he'd probably be dead. And right at that moment, he gets stabbed right through the chest. We see some great eyes here, some great faces. Great use of color, too. We're in the movie theater and the shadows and inks. Looks really great. And we see the little shadow here of the face that's done it. Of course, it's Elektra. But Ben doesn't know that. She tells him that just think about how vulnerable you are now. So quit investigating the Kingpin. And he's investigating this mayoral candidate who is in the pocket of Wilson Fisk. So now he's going to call Daredevil, and we get the whole story told from the perspective of Ben. It's really nicely written. And he's talking about here how he knows Matt Murdock is Daredevil. He knows his identity, everything about him, how he was blinded as a boy. And if he wanted to, he could write a Pulitzer Prize story about it. But he doesn't want to do that because the city needs a man like Daredevil. So Daredevil shows up, coming through the window, pushing up the blinds here. We got the cigarette burning. Really great picture here. A city in the background. He says, Ben, you got to stop smoking those cigarettes. They'll kill you. And then he tells Daredevil about how he was just threatened. And he describes the woman to Daredevil. Of course, he says, Elektra. And then he describes Elektra to Ben. And then he's gone like Batman. So then Ben meets up with the mayoral candidate who's at a gym. And he's kind of making fun of Ben for coughing because he's a smoker. So he puts Ben under the rack. And then they're trying to just choke him out. And it looks like it's going to be the end of Ben. But Daredevil's there. Some great panels here to tell this story. His hand pokes in. He grabs the weights. And then he picks them up and he smashes them into these dudes' faces. The mayoral candidate yells, stop him. But they're no match for Daredevil, of course. Then the candidate leaves the room and he goes and he calls the Kingpin, and Daredevil, using his hearing, can hear him talking to the Kingpin and finds out where they're going to be meeting the next day. But he tells Ben that he's got a trial, so he can't make it. So he tells Ben not to do anything stupid. Of course, Ben goes to the spot to get some pictures of Kingpin and this guy, and he sees this like homeless lady trying to peek in through the window, and he decides it could be a lead, so he follows her into the sewers here. We get another great face here by Frank Miller. Nice shot of this alleyway here in the city. We got clothes on the hanger. It's an establishing shot. We get into Ben Ulrich's home here. And his wife misses him. She wants him to be home and more and everything. And right as he says that, not even wild horses could drag him away, the phone rings and he's got to go back to work. And of course, she's a disgruntled housewife now. So then Ben meets up with this other informant at a diner, and Daredevil shows up, and he's trying to get Ben to go to this spot, but Daredevil says it's going to be a trap. Why don't I go? So Daredevil goes into this place, and kind of a neat way he tells the story here. We get a couple panels, and we get some sound effects in the panels, and then we actually get no panels here and just silence. So, and then Ben, he's just waiting. So it's just all about him waiting, and he's hoping Daredevil makes it out alive. I like these these 4 panels here too, because it's just the same face, but the cigarette is getting smaller and smaller in each scene. So really like that page. Then we get some even better pages here. Elektra finally shows up. Really awesome, striking face here. And Daredevil starts to battle Elektra. He's chasing her through the streets here. I love Ben here in the background, peeking out, starting to take some pictures. Great classic fight scene here between Daredevil and Elektra. Love the sound effects. That's all we get up here on this page. She kicks him, smacks him in the face, uppercuts him. Tries to kick him so hard she goes right through a wall. Then Daredevil kicks her in the spine, smacks her in the face. So she's bleeding a little bit, but she says, "I trapped you." And he gets his foot caught in a bear trap here. So, of course, she says, "Be grateful that I did not set the trap to sever your foot. I would have, but then you would not be so completely immobilized, so utterly helpless." She just looks down upon him. She kicks the bricks on top of him. And he's just collapsing into the bricks. I think right through the floor here. And then Ben's smoking gets him in trouble. He starts coughing, and she sees him. She picks up her sigh, and in a great last page here, Ben starts running for his life because he knows he's in trouble. We get the yellow lighting to kind of show danger, and we see the big eyeball, and then he gets the sigh right through his chest there, right through his back, and then he says, "Lousy cigarettes." So really awesome issue here. Classic, of course. Definitely recommend this if you ever come across it. Daredevil number 179. So thanks for watching the video. I've got daily comic book reviews I post every single day. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And thanks for watching.